It's Bob and Tom This Week, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
We're ready. Bring it.
Josh doesn't really talk this first break. He's over there steeping his tea.
You know,
I like to teabag first thing in the morning.
there is a point where he really does get pissed off. You realize that, right? So you need to pump the brakes a little.
I have a hilarious letter on this topic.
Hello, Joshua. How are you, my friend? He's waving. Hello, Christy.
Hi, Chick.
Christy showered. She smells great somehow today. Hello, Ace. Willie.
Hello, Chick.
Look at those cheeks. My God, what a nice kid. Hey, Tom. How are you?
Chick, how are you, sir?
Yeah, well.
Okay, well, it's good to know. We have a lot going on today. Our guest today will include West Coast correspondent Al Jackson and the foremost authority on celebrity nudity in cinema, Mr. Skin. We'll find out what's going on with Mr. Skin. I assume this is some kind of year-end pageantry and on his website, MrSkin.com. We'll find out what's going on with that. Yeah, Josh, I do have a letter I've got to dig up involving your presence here. And
he gave you a thumbs up.
The timing. Okay.
Yeah, big thumbs up coming from Josh.
Yes, this is like dealing with interviewing
Clowns?
Yes.
You interviewed the clown, right?
You've heard that story, have you, Josh?
Honk, honk.
He's shaking his head, yes.
I don't even know that, Willie.
I don't know how long he's sticking to it, but we're right in the middle of it, I got a feeling.
This is incredible. A vow of silence.
So I make a run to the grocery store yesterday.
Yeah?
And as I'm going in, I notice there's a car on the curb with the flashers on.
Oh.
So I go in the store, and sure enough, someone walks up to me and says, I thought you were here.
Now, you need to explain.
Said,
this is your new parking technique. You just park wherever you want, leave the flashers on.
And I guess we're at the point where I have to say, I was joking. Of course, I don't really flash or park, but I thought it was funny.
And I saw yesterday, I kid you not, someone had written in and said, well, the trick to that is when you flash or park, to pop your hood open 2 or 3 inches so car trouble.
Right.
I kid you not. I saw that yesterday. Now, it may have been legit car trouble or avid listener to this show.
Really?
A lot of people have added to it, like pop the hood and then put an old parking ticket up on the under the windshield wiper, like you've already got a ticket. There's a rainbow of ideas for flasher parking.
There's the one where you have a little sign made that says clergy.
Oh, come on. No.
Yes.
I like that.
No.
Absolutely.
That's a ticket to hell. You can't do that.
Well, Christy, going to hell in this case, I think the level of redundancy.
Yeah. Good point.
At this point, I'm just looking at better seating. That's all I'm worried about.
Fair enough.
Now, Tom, if I could step in here, I think we're at the point where you need to sincerely and humbly apologize to Josh to get him to start talking.
Do I have to?
I think so.
Josh, people talk about great heroes and activists. You know, Gandhi, you now. Look at you. You're doing a vow of silence to change the world.
I like it.
Of course, you can see Josh on bobandtom.com/live.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Ace. Can I read a letter from Chuck?
Hi, Chuck.
Chuck Bobuck.
Chuck
Banana Fana.
4.
It's one of my favorite bands, Chuck Bobuck and the Banana Fana 4. Let's see now. This comes from Chuck, and he writes, thank you, Josh. He goes, I live in the central time zone where your show comes on at 5 a.m. I had to get up at 4:45 to make sure I heard the start of the show. I particularly enjoyed Josh. Now I can sleep in an hour and start listening at 6 to fully enjoy Josh's input. Go Blues, he says at the end.
Go Blues.
I think that you have a team of people writing these anecdotal lies is what they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
he's saying he's a big Josh fan. Just suggesting that Josh doesn't talk a lot this first break as a general rule.
I think Josh does a fine job.
I think he did too. I don't know how this started, but
apparently. This is something that apparently people started noticing. Is Josh there yet? He's often late. Now
He's writing notes now.
Writing signs. Could you write a little bigger, please?
Oh, boy.
What does it say?
I could read it because I have a guy that says, "Thank you, Chuck." Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Or it says something for Tom.
Or it
Chuck-
says F off.
and it ends in
Oh,
up.
Chuck won't be hearing it because remember, he's sleeping in now because he enjoys Josh's humor.
Now for sports.
Desk.
Yesterday we announced, or was it the day before, that the Ohio State-Michigan game is canceled for this year due to the pandemic. That in 102 years, world wars, yada, 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 but
Wow.
canceled this year. But as you remember, the Big Ten Conference had a little problem, and now that problem is gone. Ohio State will be able to play for the Big Ten Championship after all. The conference announced last night that it has decided to change its rule.
Did they have a conference
Oh,
about this?
boy.
Requiring shut-up teams to
It's
play.
important to have a conference.
Yeah, they have the annual conference.
I'm going to say this, and you're going to ask stupid
You know,
questions, and I'm
Josh,
not going
did
to
you
answer.
ever you read about the Geneva Convention?
Oh, yeah.
Least number of hookers in the history of conventions.
I know.
Just boring, crappy, a bunch of guys speaking German and
There was
French.
only one hooker, but she was named Geneva. Isn't that interesting?
Ironic, yeah. Oh, now he's drinking.
Yeah, now I'm having a beer. It's beer 30. The conference announced Wednesday it's decided to change the rule requiring teams to play a minimum of 6 games to qualify for the championship game. Well, obviously, Ohio State hasn't played 6 games. They only play at 5-0. So, Big Ten athletic directors met virtually Wednesday night for a regularly scheduled meeting to discuss the change. In a statement, the Big Ten was voting to eliminate the minimum game requirement for participation in the 2020 championship game. So, it'll be Ohio State and Northwestern in the Big Ten championship game. And right now, if they played the college football playoffs today, I love it when they say that. Number 1 is Alabama. Number 2 is Notre Dame. Number 3 is Clemson. Number 4, Ohio State. So the games you would have, Alabama and Ohio State and Notre Dame and Clemson play.
Five Golden State. Wrong sport.
What? Golden State?
Just let him go.
You were going 8-7-6. I was doing the 5 golden rings this time of year. And
You were going 1, 2,
you get in the grocery
I was
store.
counting. I was giving seeds, and you got 5 golden rings.
Because it was more interesting than what a bunch of sports writers think. What football team is the best? Play the games, fellas.
And that's sports.
Oh, this is under protest. Oh my God!
If you're going to be this way, I can't continue. I won't. Can I continue?
Sure.
Will you stop?
Chick, I have a line. Is this funny? Ohio State University is the exception.
That's right.
That's
The
good.
Ohio State University.
It is a line.
I liked it.
Wow.
I'm glad I said it, Josh. Thanks for the.
Now, here is something I hope you'll
I would
pay.
want you to be honest with me.
I'll be honest with you from now forward.
Here's something I hope you'll pay attention to, Tom.
Okay.
In Tuesday night's game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys, Des Bryant was playing for the Ravens. First time in a couple years he's even been on an NFL field. He was playing his old team, the Dallas Cowboys. Well, he was looking forward to it. Not so fast. Apparently, Des Bryant was pulled from the field before the Ravens' 34-17 win over Dallas. He initially had an inconclusive test for COVID prior to warm-ups, but an ensuing test during warm-ups came up positive and caused him to sit out the game.
And suing.
Now you're doing it.
Yeah, well, he was at the conference with us yesterday.
That was stellar, Josh.
He was at the conference yesterday.
Yes.
Dr. Alan Sills on site said he made the final determination that there was no high-risk close contact during the warm-ups from Bryant, so he didn't have to remove anyone else from the game.
What did Doctors Crosby and Doctors Nash think?
Well, there was Dr. Sills and Dr. Crosby and Dr.
So
Nash
Crosby, Sills, and Nash.
and Dr. Young. Sometimes Dr.
Sometimes
Young.
Dr. Young.
Dr. Young would
He's the
come in
Y.
And sometimes
He
what?
would erase.
I checked out about 5 minutes
sometimes
ago.
Young.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Young would erase everybody else's record.
Didn't Des Bryant tweet he was quitting football?
Yes.
And then, like an hour later, said, "I'm too smart to quit."
But you know
or
what
something.
happened? He got no money. He had no money.
But, I mean,
You can't be in the world with no money.
but didn't he tweet this and then an hour later untweeted or something?
Possibly.
Yeah, there was some.
Former ABC baseball play-by-play announcer and now Sunday Night Football announcer, finishing all of Chris Collinsworth's sentences, Al Michaels has been voted the Ford C. Frick Award for Broadcast Excellence.
Excellence.
This is called
That is frickin' great.
Yeah, this is the frickin' award.
The frickin' award.
When I first started running Cincinnati Reds games, Al Michaels was doing the play-by-play, and then Marty Brenneman.
When you say running them, you mean that you weren't in charge of the games. You were just in charge of the radio broadcast.
I was at the radio station. I had the Reds on the AM and
the notion of a
football on the FM.
The notion of a professional sports organization. Well, we'd like to announce our new commissioner, Chick McGee.
I'd love that.
What's wrong with that?
You know, in the Bits and Pieces podcast, this came up that I was a music director. Right. I was a program director.
Right. You were a person.
I had budgets.
You were a person.
I had to fire people.
You had respect.
I wore sport coats to stupid meetings. I did it all.
And what happened? Which one do we blame?
You joined this stupid show.
You know what happened? Tom Griswold saved my life. Would you like to hear your eulogy? I've got it already. For Tom.
Do you have the urn with my name on it?
Generosity. All I need's a toe. And his forethought of starting.
If your eulogy doesn't end with you knocking over the casket.
Oh, geez. Sorry, Tom. Oh, God. We're kicking over the ashes.
Right.
Gee, and getting the dustbuster out like Monty Python.
Everything is falling.
Okay, now we have just been linked up to Gabriel Iglesias,
Thank
the great
goodness.
comedian and actor.
Oh, I'm glad this conversation's over.
And Gabriel, my first question for you, I don't know if you heard about this, but Drake has his own celebrity candle that smells like Drake himself. Is there a Gabriel Iglesias candle, and if so, what would it smell like?
Oh man, I'd probably smell like cinnamon. Cinnamon or vanilla. I'm pretty basic.
I like
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah. Very nice.
See, that's actually a pleasant smell.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. It doesn't smell like a body wash or anything. I walked into the end of that conversation, you guys.
Sorry, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Fluffy.
wasn't sure what was going on right there, but I'm like, wow, all right, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, well, no, it is true. It is true that Drake has just released a camera that smells like
Candle.
That smells like Drake himself, and it's already sold out. So I know that you have a lot of merch. When you hit the road, you've got T-shirts and everything. Your fans love you. I've seen we have the doll. I was just going to say.
Oh, there you
Look at
go.
that. You got a Funko, a pop vinyl. Wow.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
That's when you know you made it.
I remember last time I was there with you guys still have my original bobblehead.
Yes, we do.
Yep,
Absolutely.
It's right by the microwave.
That was the birth. Nice.
I'm not joking.
Is.
If these cameras
really
moved,
is.
I'd show you. I would show you. Now, Gabriel, I don't want to confuse everybody, because if I'm getting this right, it's season 2, part 2. Is this correct? That has just been released on Netflix?
It is the most confusing thing. So traditional television, it's season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. This is so weird because season 1 was 10 episodes, and now we're in season 2, part 3. It's the weirdest thing. So they take the second season and they cut it in half, and they give the public 6 episodes, and then a few months later they give them the next 6 episodes, and in between that they did a special one-off where it's just 1 episode. So I'm confused because people are saying congratulations on season 3. I'm like, it's part 3, and they're like, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know anymore.
I think this probably means you're somehow getting paid less.
Oh.
That's a loophole. It's totally a loophole.
Mr. Iglesias, this is clearly season 2 still.
Well, let's look at the bright side. This means new episodes. That's all it means. More you.
It's like saying, okay, we're going to give you 10 T-shirts, but we're going to give you 5 now and then 5 later. So did you really get more? Or did they...
Well, I'm choosing to look at it as new episodes.
That's a psychological play like your parents would do. Like, we're going to get some now, $5 now, and I'll give you the $5 later. So,
And the place is Netflix, and the man is Mr. Iglesias. And now, were these filmed prior to the COVID situation, or what's the latest with that?
When we wrapped, when we finished production, a week later we had a wrap party, and a couple days later, that's when everything just, we finished right before everything really went. I mean, we already heard they were talking about stuff that was happening in China, but it hadn't hit the way that it hit. So we were not able to make any references to the pandemic.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I just was curious that, or concerned that perhaps the cast would have been, and it's obviously very difficult to do anything right now, especially, I imagine, filming a television show. Now, so you obviously haven't been able to do any stand-up, I'm assuming, between the TV show.
Stand-up's the only thing, stand-up and just being social are two things I haven't been able to do in a long time. But television, I believe it or not, I've been able to work on television shows. They have a lot of restrictions, clearly, and every production has a COVID officer who's there to make sure that everyone's maintaining social distancing, wearing their mask. If you're a lead in a series, they make you double up, so you got the mask and a shield. So they're very, they're very, very cautious. But we're still able to do TV. I was able to work on a Nickelodeon series that's out now, and I just did an episode of To Tell the Truth with Anthony Anderson.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
They've brought To Tell the Truth. God, some of the classics.
That's an old school show, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how we would be on Family Feud together.
Yeah.
A morning radio show team, and we'd probably get into a giant
fist fight. Yeah, right there.
What was your we're talking with Gabriel Iglesias. The show, by the way, is Mr. Iglesias on Netflix, and it's I forget what it was. It's on TV now. I forget the numbers. Season 2, part 3.
It's not even important.
What was your first national late night TV appearance? Which one of the shows did you get on first?
Leno back in the day. Well, that's the Tonight Show for those of you that don't remember the Jay Leno. Yeah, he was the first one to give me a crack at the stage. I mean, it was one of those. I had attempted to, and this is back in the day when you had to submit a tape. This was pre-internet. This was no YouTube, no streaming, no nothing. You had to know someone who could deliver a VHS tape to an office, and calls were made, and I got my first 4-minute set on the Tonight Show.
Do you remember any of it?
I don't remember any. All I remember is the nerves, and just at the end when it was over, I was so happy and relieved, and it was just like, yay! I had no idea I had no idea, man. It's like somebody finding toilet paper right now. You just can't believe you got a hold of it.
Well, Gabriel, you're the best. The show is hilarious. It is Mr. Iglesias, season 2, part 3. We're not sure. Just watch it. It's really fun. You can catch up on it if you haven't seen it yet. And we wish that you were our teacher.
Yes.
The always funny Gabriel Iglesias. I like the beard, by the way. Looking good.
Yeah, well, remember, I've been coming to you guys so long. I used to have hair and hope, and now it's fell, and I had to keep hair somewhere. So
Can you see your original bobblehead? There it is. You with hair. Yeah.
Oh my God. You look like Mike Ditka with all that hair. That is some hair.
There he is.
Well, I'm getting the signal that you're being told you have to do something else. Gabriel Iglesias, thank you, sir. It's always a great pleasure.
Dick McGee, congrats on that win yesterday, man.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much, man. We did it.
That's right.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. God, he's funny. The show's terrific. Let's see what's going on here. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Let's do a little checklist here. There's Ace Cosby, our engineer. Ace is also the proprietor of the Ace Cosby Joke of the Day, brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Mr. Chick McGee is celebrating the victory of his favorite football team in the NFL, the Washington Football Club, if you will. Josh is back. He just got here. He is
not true.
Once again sitting
here before Willie. I was
sitting at the IHateStevensinger.com sidekick desk and chair.
He tells a story of wrestling with the water cooler jug, I guess.
Oh, did you change the water?
the last 40 times I've done it.
Thank you, Josh.
I never drink water
it.
because it's bad for you. And I'm sitting in there, and Christy comes in and gets water, and she goes, it's kind of empty, and walks away. And I thought, well, this has a recipe for disaster. And sure enough, here he comes.
Well,
I can't lift those things.
No, you don't need to be doing that.
No.
I got it. I got you.
No.
well, it is. It does take a certain skill, so thank you, Jim.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
thank you.
like
I
it.
appreciate it.
I feel like
Josh.
Donkey Kong when I lift up that big barrel.
If I did that, this whole office would be ruined.
Spilling water everywhere.
Water everywhere.
Boom, splash.
Did you ever make the mistake of taking one of those giant water cooler bottles home and using it as your change jar?
Sure did.
I never did, but only because my parents did.
Yeah. And first of all, it takes 10 years to fill it up.
Right.
And it is filled with $1 million in coins.
Yes, but
it can't
you
be
have to
moved.
lift it.
You need to hire 2 men in a truck.
Yes.
So where was it? Oh, I was introducing everybody. Christy Lee is back over there. She's got her own room now.
I
It's
love
the
it.
Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom starring Christy Lee. This is Tom speaking. That's Willie G over there. Josh,
yes.
We got into a small argument about acronyms.
Yes.
And do you remember how it started?
Yeah, I don't think words like to or the should be part of acronyms.
For example, in the acronym WTF.
Right. That should not be the case.
Okay, so
It should be WF.
Right.
But it isn't.
That's because we've bastardized the whole system.
There's a system?
What?
Yes, there were rules for these things.
No.
No, you notice how I think there's a rule for capitalizing on the title of a book, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. there's
And
definitely rules for
WTF isn't an organization. It's just an online thing. It was
Yeah.
the thing
Right,
that
that's
was
just text
established.
speak.
Exactly.
Right.
So that doesn't that wouldn't follow the system,
Well,
whereas
that's how
an organization would.
HTTR, hail to the name we can't mention, for the Washington Football Club started. It was just online, #HTTR.
Exactly. So then that's not even, accurate.
So that's kind of a that's
I
a
think,
bastardization.
I think acronyms they're kind of flexible. I think we can go with
Oh,
what
sure.
we want.
Language itself is flexible, yeah. Well, you and I could do a
I know
4-hour podcast.
I know that you, every time someone uses the word impact when they mean effect, it drives you nuts.
It does.
And
God,
that is
I'm bored.
Pretty much every sentence when you watch any Washington show on Sunday morning.
I know.
What is the impact of the impact? Well, it impacted the impact. That's every time I hear that, I think of Josh.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't stand it.
If I hear normalcy, whoever's talking is an idiot. In terms of the words normality, if you
I don't
disagree,
think
you're
I've
wrong.
ever heard normality in any sort of news show.
Every now and again, I hear
That's
some.
because you're reading the wrong thing.
No, I hear normality
Everybody.
constantly. Everybody
Yeah.
says normality.
It's now considered correct, and
Yep.
but it shouldn't be. It's willful ignorance, is what it is.
Yes.
willful ignorance.
That's right.
So they know, but they refuse to use normality.
That's right.
Okay.
They're lazy. Let's see. Cameron writes, when I was in college, my friend decided instead of paying $150 for the annual college parking pass, he would flasher park.
Yes.
Nice.
He'd pull up to any given building when a class was on, turn on the flashers, stroll right into class. This went on for 3 semesters until the night he came out of class and his car was gone. It had been towed. Thank you. Cameron, we appreciate it.
Well, yes,
if only.
But think of the months, possibly years, you've gotten away with flasher parking. It's worth a tow job
What a
every now
thrill.
and then.
Oh, yeah, 3 semesters. That's a year and a half of thrill.
This is like
on.
the guy we had the news story last week about the guy in Ontario. Remember this thing? They pulled a car over, and the guy had not had a new plate. The plate on the car was 30 years old.
Oh, I thought you meant the guy with the folding chair in his car. I get confused anymore with.
Yeah, and there was the guy that painted
Okay,
his
here's
own
the
license
story.
plate.
The guys, the Canadian Traffic Service pulled the guy over. They calculated the driver will face a fine of $110.
Wow, Steve.
Saving $3,600
Yeah.
in plate renewal fees. Oh, those are cheap plates. $120 a year in Canada.
How much?
$120 a year.
Yeah, but in American money, that's like $400.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're in some states the plates are rather pricey. I don't know if you've.
Yeah,
Well,
very.
you wouldn't know, Josh, because you have that antique car. They don't charge for plates. It's not another.
It's all about the tax system. Some they tax fuel.
You know, you
others
can
they-
get an antique plate for that.
personal property tax.
It's not 25 years
I
old. Be
can't-
nice to him. My goodness, you guys are just.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe another
bullies.
couple years.
First, I want to get a new horn. I'm tired of that. Hoo-woo-ga.
When we come back, Chick McGee, what's happening? We got
Olympic news. World records just in time for the holidays.
and a holiday song
And chickens.
coming up. This is the Bob and Tom Show. What's that sound? Welcome back. This is the Bob and Tom Show. Josh,
Angels.
take over.
Hey, we're all here. Look at us, all in our places with bright,
Pathetic.
shiny face. What? Hey, you're gonna give me a shot or not?
Who we?
Go ahead. I'm dying over here.
How about you?
Choke.
Are you finally being choked by our many listeners?
What are you seeing? Are you seeing blackness?
You got a light? You got a light in the tunnel? What do you got?
Oh boy.
Do you guys, is that what you meant? Do you guys know is this an active bird's nest story?
No.
Okay, I'm choking on my food in 7th grade. We're at a family dinner at my mom's house. I'm choking. No one believes me. Everyone thinks I'm doing a fun little bit. I give myself the Heimlich on my chair. My dad stands up and goes, "Oh my gosh. Is that an active bird's nest?" And just couldn't have cared. Nothing happened to him. He was just curious about a bird's nest in a tree.
Well, maybe that's not. Maybe that's an actual memory that you have.
No, it's real.
It's real.
That is a real memory?
Here's the thing, and this is something I have
That really happened?
Let me explain.
Everybody was
Let me
there.
explain.
There's no way of explaining
No,
this.
there is, and this is very common. When people are choking, the people around them think that they're kidding. And Willie, obviously always the jokester, we thought he was clowning around.
Such a goof I am.
This is serious. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a big deal.
Thank God you knew how to do the Heimlich on a chair.
I was at a restaurant and a guy had to Heimlich a guy, and I'll tell you what, I don't know the physics of it, but whatever was stuck in there shot across the room. It doesn't just emerge from your mouth like vomit. It was.
Don't you see Tom calling the server over and go, "Can we get them to quiet down?"
Would you mind, can we get another table, maybe a little farther away from the noisy hoi pollons?
What's going on?
Could I get
over
this
there? Have they
hockey
never-
puck of steak that flew out of his gullet off of my
Have
table?
they never been out before?
Learn to chew, Tarkus.
Also, if this music's playing here, then what's playing in hell?
That's
Change
right.
the station.
Thank
That's
you very
exactly
much.
right.
That's a Chick McGee line.
And this broccoli
Steal
cheddar soup is
constantly.
abysmal.
No, I was just drinking some coffee and I went down the wrong pipe. So, Josh, nice job in the intros. Did
Well,
you
I tried, but you interrupted your own death to tell me I wasn't doing it right.
That's just like
Let's try it
you'll
again.
raise up during the funeral and go, "You're not doing it right. Let me step in."
Okay, once again, pretend I'm joking.
Okay. Well, I often do.
Adds a certain component of glee. And now do the intro.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Here we are, all of us. My gosh, Ace Cosby there at the engineer's booth. Willie Griswold at his spot.
Rock and roll.
There's Chick McGee.
Howdy.
Christy Lee in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom.
Hi, Josh.
I'm Josh Arnold at the IHateStevensinger.com news sidekick desk. And I said news on accident, but sidekick desk.
You also forgot Aces at the...
Omaha Steaks Joke of the Day desk.
Thank you very much.
I don't know why we'd want
And
to
Tom
forget the
Griswold.
joke of the day.
Tom Griswold is over there embarrassingly unsponsored.
Oh, I had a submission for
Naked
you,
as a
Ace.
jaybird, if you will.
I think Christy has a joke of the day.
No, I don't. I had somebody send me one I was going to send to Ace.
Do you have it right there?
Well, cut out the middleman and you step
No,
up.
I don't want to do this one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Without further ado.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I don't tell jokes.
The Navy Federal Credit Union
Here it is.
joke of the day with Christy Lee.
Christy tells joke show dies. Okay. I want to see. I can't even do it.
You're already doing better
Okay,
than
let's
Chick.
get some momentum. Let me give you some momentum.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we pause from the Chick McGee Sports broadcast
Ask everybody how they're doing before you
for the
start.
Christy Lee joke of the day.
So I went to a beekeeper to get to.
You went to a beekeeper?
You're already killing, Christy.
She went to a beekeeper. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to a beekeeper to get 12 bees. I don't know if you guys are knowing that, but I'm really into bees now. And he counted, and he had given me 13. And I said, "Sir, you gave me an extra." And he goes, "That's a freebie."
Yeah. You
Ladies
nailed
and
it.
gentlemen.
Nailed it.
I did that a few months ago.
No, you didn't.
Don't ruin
I
it.
remember every Ace joke of the day.
If you did it, I'm sorry, but our friend Mark sent it to me, and I thought I had to do it. But
It's an excellent joke.
thank you.
I thought it was going to be
Is this Mark the Mark that I know?
Yes, the one
did-
that trains my dogs.
Yes. Did he
Oh.
hear Chick yesterday about parking?
I don't know if he did or not.
We have a hack for flasher parking.
I don't think Mark would be happy about that.
Dear Chick, flasher parking is awesome. We all know it.
Now, once again, describe your technique of flasher parking.
Well, you've heard of a handicap parking.
Sure.
I bypass that. I just pull up to wherever I'm going in and hit the flashers, pop out, go about my day, come back, kick the flashers off, and speed away. It's the greatest space ever, right there on the curb.
And
Where
you don't
it
even
says,
put like a sign up, a fake sign
No.
saying Reverend on duty
where
or
it
something.
says no parking, that means I'm parking.
Wouldn't it be great to follow him around with a tow truck and not tell him and just wait till he runs inside?
Dear Chick, flasher parking is awesome, but if you open your hood just a little,
Yeah.
They rarely, if ever, bother you. It works all the time. Your friend, Woody.
All right.
It's Woody, who, by the way, Woody has a little business in slightly used batteries.
I know how much you love giant pandas.
I do. Wait a minute.
recent-
Guys, there's a story about you.
Aw,
They're excited.
the fellas.
Well, a recent study
Panda fellas.
All right.
has found that wild giant pandas roll around in horse manure to help keep warm.
Well, what?
Researchers from the Chinese Academy of Sciences
don't
observed the
think they
giant
do that.
pandas living in the Qinling Mountains tend to go looking for fresh horse manure to roll in.
Do they?
Scientists say that compounds in the fresh horse manure help to inhibit cold activation at the molecular level in
those steam.
pandas.
Yeah.
Well, it explains why they can never get those pandas to have sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna bang that guy. Smells like horse poop.
Yeah, Marianne, yikes. Winnie the Poop. I'll tell you what. It's Kung Poop Pandas. What I
That was okay.
Now, you roll and poop just to mask the BO, right, Josh?
That's right. My body odor is so offensive, I roll in feces. Why is your body odor so offensive, Josh? Well, I eat a lot. And when one is fat, they sweat.
Yeah.
And they often don't bathe because it's physically difficult.
Didn't you say that you can't fit in your tub?
That's right. I can barely fit in my home, let alone my tub.
This is.
I believe Josh is having a breakdown.
I have to go out in the backyard where a team of men with giant brushes on sticks scrub me down like a circus elephant. That's what happens.
And to be fair, you can fit in your tub, Josh, but you don't want to go in there because that's where you put all your gravy that you need constantly.
Exactly. It's, boy, this better be somebody good.
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
This is Dick Butter in for Manny Petty. And this is some other news. Well, giant pandas have been seen smearing themselves with horse manure in the wild. Scientists say that the manure helps them tolerate low temperatures, which explains why panda is the correct answer to the riddle, what's black and white and brown all over? And smell. A woman in Texas has opened a so-called tickle bar where clients come to be professionally tickled. Now, if you plan on patronizing the Tickle Bar in the next year, they're located at the corner of 4th and Hayes. Just look for the out-of-business space for lease banner, and you know you found it. Target has found itself having to respond to media inquiries about chocolate-dipped Santa cookies in which St. Nick's boots have been likened to a huge black penis. More than 24 Target stores in Minnesota sold out of the controversial treat. So apparently, even though Santa lives at the North Pole, his South Pole is quite impressive. And finally, this bit of disturbing news. The content of your Facebook posts could predict whether you will develop schizophrenia or mood disorders, according to a new study.
Really?
Now, here are a few of the ways your Facebook activity might indicate you have mental problems.
Okay.
You have 500 Facebook friends, and every one of them is you.
Oh, yeah,
That's a problem.
You respond to people's posts with a berserk emoji.
the berserk emoji. Yeah, that will let people know. Wow.
Your most popular photo last year was your mugshot.
It's bad.
You use the abbreviation ROFLSJ, which stands for Rolling on the Floor Laughing in a Straitjacket.
Another indicator.
Another indicator. You list your favorite hobby as arson.
Arson. Yeah, that's...
Your mother keeps denying your friend requests.
My mom.
Another indicator. Strangely, the pictures you post of your wife are the same pictures posted by your next-door neighbor of his wife.
that's crazy, yeah.
Lunatic.
When you unfriend people, no one ever sees them again.
You're really a friend. Yeah.
Psycho killer.
You keep sending friend requests to people via MySpace.
It's dated, isn't it?
MySpace.
And another way you might know you have schizophrenia, finally, your beach photos show both your legs and your ankle bracelet.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Well, this is Dick Hitswater sitting in for Manny Petty. And that was Some Other News.
Thanks, Dick. It was appreciated well.
There goes your Christmas present. I was antiquing over the weekend, and there was this giant picture of Buster Brown hanging. It was a wall art, I guess. It was hanging. It was just Buster Brown, the way he used to wink.
When you say you were antiquing.
Yeah. Looking around for antiques.
This is not online. This is at stores, walking around looking at other people's old stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives me the creeps.
Why?
Why is that?
It gives Donnie Baker the creeps, too.
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, Mom and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Oh, hey, Donnie, how are you?
Good. Chick, my mom Phyllis used to make me wear Buster Brown shoes when I was a kid.
Oh, no. Wow.
I swear to God. Hell, I probably still got a few pairs up in the attic. Re-gift them to Woofy. Brings back memories. I ever tell you guys about my Christmas Eve last year?
No.
I got a last-minute part-time job at the mall. Because some dude got sick, so they needed a pinch hitter for Santa in their Christmas Eve extravaganza.
Oh, cool.
So, spoiler alert, I got all dressed up in a Santa Claus suit.
Did you?
Wow.
And it was actually fun finding out what all the kids wanted for Christmas.
I'll bet.
And not a one wanted Buster Brown shoes.
Yeah, no.
But anyways, I got done pretty late at the mall, so I just left my Santa suit on, and I ended up checking out some adult entertainment spots on my way home.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, it turned out to be a magical Christmas Eve. I even wrote a poem about it. You guys want to hear it?
Sure.
'Twas the night before Christmas. I hit all the strip clubs with guys getting lap dances, sporting half chubs. Dancers' garters were stuffed with singles and fives from dudes who didn't want to be home with their wives. Crystal and Roxy report to stage 2. White stinks keyed up. Time to do what you do. I dressed up like Santa with the suit and the beard, hoping the stripper might see me and want to get weird. When out on stage 3, there arose such a clatter, I craned my neck to see what was the matter. Then what to my wondering eyes did appear? The biggest set of jugs I'd seen all last year. She was fire-ass hot. Them D-cups were fine. I knew in an instant she must be mine. Forget Crystal and Roxy. I'm off to stage 3. Santa had never seen hammers quite like these. She danced over to me. Her butt started to twerk, which made her pasties fell off. So I went to work. I said, I'm Santa. Come sit here on my knee. I got presents for you. Have you something for me? She said, you're too skinny to be Santa Claus, honey, but I'll play along. You have any money? We were off to the back room in a flash. I whipped out my wallet and showered her with cash. Take my 10s, my 20s, whatever the price. And last Christmas Eve, well, Santa came twice. Enjoy the antiquing, chick.
Very
Bye,
good,
Donnie.
Whenever your girl sends a text that it's got a picture with it and it says, what is this? The picture hasn't come through yet, so you're just like, please don't be panties. Please don't be panties. And it was Omaha Steaks, and so I was very, very happy. But it's so scary because, like, especially when you're a guy that's not doing anything, you're like, I refuse to get in trouble. Like, I'm not even doing anything. So.
Right.
Although it would be awfully funny if a giant cooler of panties had arrived. That would be.
I'm sure there are places you can order that from.
Yeah, but why would you have to have them refrigerated?
What is this? And you don't see the picture yet. You're already writing, that's not your hair clip?
In your head, oh no, whose Instagram picture did I like?
Well, we sent Al some Omaha Steaks. I'm glad they got there so quick.
Oh, thank you
now,
so much.
Well, we got time for just a couple new words. Try me here. Go ahead, Al.
Tom, I love this one. This is kind of from when I was still alive inside my mid-20s.
Sure.
And a lot of guys used to use this. And I'll just give you the word, and you tell me, like, what context would be happening if I said, what would it mean to somebody if you said, let's get to Polyan, P-O-L-Y apostrophe N.
Oh, I have an idea.
Let's start talking about this.
Talking about it?
Yeah, like Polly won a cracker, talking parrot.
Oh, really?
I think, well, yeah, it's interesting. You guys got the right answer from kind of the wrong root, because Polyan is like, it comes from another slang. It's slang for another slang term, which is politicking. So you could say,
I was going with pollinating. I was doing something totally different.
No, politicking is like, you think about politicians, they're always kind of giving stump speeches at weird diners.
Right.
So it's just like, me and Tom, we got to politicking and we looked up in an hour going by. So then Polyan is just kind of a short for that. But you guys got it completely right. No matter, it's like when your math teacher says, show your work, and you're like, I got the right answer. Leave me alone. You got the right answer.
Okay, very good, very good. Maybe one more, Al.
All right, Tom, we got this. Tom, if a Gen Zer just text you the letter W, what are they saying?
Wow.
Not wow, but that's a good guess.
I wonder if Willie knows this. Willie remains stoic.
I would think W would either be a reference to winning something, like we got the W, or just short for what's up. Because I've used like WYA for like where you at, so maybe it's just short for that.
Yeah, that's what I hope it is, because I tweeted that Tuesday morning, just the W, the Redskins had won. No, the Redskins had won.
Oh, Chick, I thought that was a W for Willie. I thought that was.
I was going to guess where are you?
Yeah.
Willie and I.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what it is. Wait a minute, because I just remember what it means. You're welcome.
What?
All right.
That's a pretty good guess.
No, if you say thank you to someone, you get a W back.
I've never heard that before.
Like that.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Really?
It's Willie and Chick.
No, you don't.
I do.
For the by accidental win. It is for, you just write the word win. And so you could say, Tom, I had to get up for the show this morning. My alarm didn't go off, but I got up anyway. W. Like, that's a win for me. Like,
okay. So it does mean
yeah,
win.
But so you guys were correct. So I am impressed. Chicky coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Proud of you, bruh.
Who sends you a W for welcome? Has to be one person.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So.
Because I'm very polite, and when I'm.
Is it your lover?
No, it's my assistant. She always says, I'll say thank you, and she'll say W.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, cool.
Okay. That's me.
I love a good you're welcome. I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
You never hear it.
Polite.
I know. I use it all the time.
You never hear it.
I try
to
encourage
others.
Listen to every interview on NPR. It always ends up with thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go, you're welcome, thank you.
No one ever says you're welcome.
I know. It's terrible.
And I type it out too. You're welcome.
Yeah, me too. I don't go with W.
No.
I don't like adults that type "you are welcome." That's just weird to me.
Exactly.
I stopped doing that because Prince did it all the time, and it pissed me off.
Nothing compares to the numeral 2.
Yeah. Nothing ruins a good song like doing something that looks so dated. 2 years later.
Don't forget Too Legit to Quit, though. The 2 is
right. And you'd be proud of us, Al. We introduced Tom yesterday to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Yes.
What?
He does not care for it at all.
Yeah. I'll
the window.
Al, what does it mean? Al, what does it mean when I text you H?
Does that mean hate?
I'm a hater.
Hate.
Al, this weekend I'm going to show him the Yin Yang twins. I'll get back to you.
Oh, please.
Hey, Al.
Willie,
skeet.
We'll do a reaction video. Hey, Dad, how do you like 3-6 Mafia? Yeah, it'll be fun.
What does skeet mean?
Completion.
Get a towel.
Al Jackson's book is called Where is Baby Ford? And you can get Where is Baby Ford by going to, where do you get it again? Do you go to aljackson.com?
Just go to good old-fashioned Al Jackson Live, my website.
That's it.
Yeah.
aljacksonlive.com. Thank you, Al. And it's a benefit for the Lakewood County Firefly Autism Program. Very good. Thanks, Al. It's always a great pleasure.
Al.
Talk to you next week.
Love you, kids.
Love you.
See you next week. Thanks for the steaks.
Okay, you're welcome.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com or listen live with the Bob and Tom app. And be sure to tune in next time for more Bob and Tom Tonight.